Hello and welcome to HisMoney. I'm so excited today to bring a very special guest with us. Her name is Lydia. She's gonna tell us who she is. Hello Lydia and welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Lydia Modoni Wanyweke. I am born and raised in Kenya, and I live here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really? That's awesome to know. What gift do you have, Lydia?
My gifts, my passion, I put it that way because those two words go together when you have found your gift. It's cooking, entertainment, catering to people. I love bringing people together. You can't go wrong with that when it comes to food. That's my passion and my gift.
How did you know that this was your passion, or rather, when did you discover that this was a passion?
At a very, very young age, growing up playing house. When you're playing in the chicken coops, I'll be the mother cooking for everybody, making it with the mud or the clay and making it a meal, or figuring out some leaves, taking mushrooms from the backyard. God knows I wasn't sure whether they were poisonous or not, but we didn't eat them. But I played the part of cooking, always entertaining people. So I knew that at a very young age, maybe like 7, 8 years old.
That's interesting because a lot of people go through life without even knowing what their gift is.
It is.
So it's such a blessing that at such a young age you were able to discover who you really were called out to be. Who inspired you to take up cooking?
I would say my mom and my grandmother did. To what I understand is like it's a line of in my family from my great grandfather. He was a chef growing up in the day. His daughter, who is my grandmother, God rest her soul, and then my mother as well had a restaurant. So I grew up in the restaurant. And we had a restaurant in Kenya. I was very passionate to be there all the time. And the house girls at home will also be, I would be in the kitchen all day helping out. So that is where I got it from. We have that background. And my son just graduated from culinary school in February.
Oh, wow.
And my daughter is always in the kitchen cooking as well.
It's very interesting how that the cooking gift or passion or calling was passed down from the great-grandfather going down.
Yeah.
It's more like an inherited kind of gift.
Yeah, and it's on my mom's side of the family.
Oh, wow.
It's insane, like it's just on that side. My sister also, I forgot, my sister went to culinary school as well, and she has a restaurant of her own today in Kenya.
Oh my God, I can't be so surprised because I remember my grandmother was a businesswoman and my siblings, they are all in business.
See?
It's kind of like it just goes down from our ancestors. So what kind of family are you coming from, and what type of business or what type of jobs do they like doing? You'll find that sometimes it's just passed down. You need to just be very observant and
pay attention.
So how are you using this gift of cooking?
Well, I am definitely using it by catering, sharing to people. Sometimes I teach recipes. I might not give you the whole recipe because you have to keep some things authentic to yourself. I use my gift to bring people together, in events, in my own home, even friends' houses. When I go to their houses, I'm always in the kitchen cooking for them.
Oh, wow.
Without them even asking.
It's a natural thing. For some people, it's so amazing how God has given us so different kinds of gifts. Some people, they'll just come in the room, even if you don't have too much in the refrigerator, they'll already know what to cook. And then some of us, you have to think hard. It's like an exam. Taking an exam. What will I cook? What will I do?
Oh, no,
so you have used this as a gift to also make it into a business, right?
Make it into a business, educate people, teach people. I have done a class of teaching people how to cook at Carnegie Mellon University before, and other places, you know, even in my own home. I've done some videos and I'll post them when I'm cooking, just casually, you know, like just naturally, without any thoughts behind it. So I hope to one day have a place where I can teach more about cooking, and especially with children.
How about right now, Lydia, if someone is watching and they say, I want to learn how to make some of the Kenyan cuisines?
I'll be happy to help out.
So is it okay for us to share your number so that people can call?
Most definitely.
Oh, so there you have it.
Yes.
You can actually call her.
Yeah.
And she can teach you. You know, they make very nice food in Kenya. I walked in here and she was busy frying these samosas for me to eat. They are so tasty. I wish you could be here to try them.
Thank you. And I make mostly everything I do it from scratch. I believe in quality product, quality food, what you put in your body. Yes, samosas are fried. You can also put them in an air fryer. You can put them in an oven. It's a choice. But food, I would suggest people to eat more natural foods. Cook it yourself. Know what you're eating.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Balanced meal is important to me.
Right now I have samosa and watermelons. Is this watermelon?
Watermelon juice, yeah.
Straight from the fruit itself.
Yes.
It's no chemicals, nothing. She just made it for me when I came. This is amazing.
Thank you.
So what does it take to succeed, Lydia? Somebody might be watching and say, you already succeeded. What advice can you tell them?
I would not say success, it comes overnight. It's a lot of hard work, sleepless nights. You're married to your business.
I'm telling you.
You don't clock off. It's 24 hours. When you go to sleep, you wake up thinking that business, like I said to begin with, passion is very important. Giving 100% to your business. Time is important. Don't give up. You can fail. And if it's something that you see yourself, you'll have a vision to tell you whether you're going the right direction. Don't give up. Keep doing it. It's not an overnight thing. And especially when it comes to the restaurant businesses, I've done my researches. Most restaurants, if you give it at least 2 to 3 years before you find it's, you know, working for you. I could have been discouraged at the beginning. I'm like here selling coffee. Then one person who has a restaurant gave me advice. He said, Lydia, you're from Kenya. What are you doing selling people just coffee? Go and cook them some goat meat. I was like, I don't have a full kitchen, but let me see what I can do. Find something that will bring people towards your business.
Right.
That keeps you different from everybody else.
That's very important. Finding your niche.
Yes, that's important. You have to be different. You can make samosas. I can make samosas. Somebody else can make a samosa, but it's not going to taste the same.
Exactly.
You know, because you have your own niche. I have my own, and it's okay to let other people be. You can go to the grocery store and at the bread aisle or the soda aisle. They're still there. They're not competing with each other. You still have choices.
Yes.
So it's okay.
I really like that analogy, you know. I am reminded of when I used to live in Africa, in Zambia in particular. You find this person is selling tomatoes, the next person is selling tomatoes, and they are all on the same row.
Yes.
You know, and they all somehow just make money by the end of the day.
Exactly.
So it's very important to know who you are and to find your niche and something you are passionate about.
Yeah.
I like what you said about running a business, really. Like you don't clock off.
No, you don't.
You are always on the run, working, thinking, planning. Sometimes that's what discourages people from starting a business. What if someone knows in the heart of hearts that they are meant to start a business, but then they are thinking of those things? What advice can you give them?
Well, they have to have the passion. They cannot just decide to open a business and then they're going to give up on it. It doesn't work like that. If it's not for, then it's not for you. Business is not for everybody.
Right.
There are people who are always going to be employees and people who are always going to be employers. So choose your niche. If you want to be a 9 to 5, I have seen multiple people do that. To each their own. That's not me. I would advise those people to just follow their heart and just find it. Like, if I can find something that I'm so good at and get paid for it, that's a bonus. Run with it.
I know, if you can find something you love and get paid for it, that's amazing.
That's what passion is. That's what your calling is. That's what your gift is.
So where do you see yourself 5 years from now, Lydia?
Myself, how I see myself. I see myself in owning a big restaurant where I bring live entertainment. I bring showcase more African food, even from different nationalities and cultures, not just Kenya itself as a box. I would like to see myself having a franchise of selling the fast foods when it comes to like simple food like samosas, you know, French fries, fried fish, to go places. You know, they don't have to sit there.
Right.
I would like to do that. The other thing I wanna, it's teaching, cooking classes, cooking lessons, and especially like having that I knew mind from a child and I see it in my children. I would like to have a place where the kids can also learn.
That's awesome.
How to do it.
That's awesome, especially if we can start them young. Like you said, you started when you were young yourself,
like 7
observing and learning. Now it's a business.
Yes.
There are so many young people who don't even know what they want. You see, I see a lot of young people, they go into college, in the middle of college, they say, I don't want this. My son is one example.
My son is one of them too.
And then he just racked up like all this debt. For something you didn't even want. So if you start them young and they are passionate about it while they're young, you know, I think that is very, very powerful.
And when you also will see it, and I see it in my children, I have 3 of them, so I know who I'm saying. You see them coming to the kitchen and they just want to see what you're doing. Mommy, can I help do that? Can I? Don't discourage them.
Yes.
Let them be open, help out a little bit. Don't let them play with the fire if they're not of age to do that.
Right.
But just encourage them. You never know that's their gift. Like my son the other day, he's 6 years old and he likes to create characters with sounds. And I realized after watching a video the other day about this man, how he became a voice character in movies. Is when he was a child, like my son. He was doing all those things, but his parents discouraged him. They're thinking like he's talking to other people. So now from that, he has made millions of money because of just that part. Sometimes we kill our children's dreams at the beginning by telling them, oh, don't do that. When Joshua will play with toys, he likes to build puzzles. And I'm like, oh, you're making my house a mess. I don't want you to do that. You know, go put them away. No, maybe he's supposed to be a builder, an engineer.
Exactly.
So don't kill your dreams or your children's dreams. Let them be who they're supposed to be. That might be their passion. And it might manifest later on in life.
That's great advice. What would you advise young Lydia? You know, somebody who is in a position you were when you were much younger. I realize you're still young, but when you were much younger, what advice can you give such a person? Maybe they are watching, they are wondering, what should I do?
I would say definitely sit down and have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, where do I see myself in, you know, growth in your career, because we're talking about business, so I'll stick to the one topic about business. Where do I see myself later on? And do your research. I wish I did mine earlier. I knew my gift for a long time, but I was scared of taking that step of faith. It took a minute, but when I did, I was like, man, I should have done this a long time ago.
Exactly.
Like, take a chance, take that risk. It's okay, and it's okay to fail. And you get up and pick up and start again. And don't give up. See yourself, vision yourself. And God will give you that guidance as well to know whether you're doing it right or not. It's not for everybody.
I think fear is a big one.
Fear is huge. I had fears. I was insecure about it. I remember my first day going to open my restaurant. I had fears that morning. I was I was on YouTube. This is wrong. This is off the record, but I would say I'm driving, and I was like, I opened a coffee shop. I don't even drink coffee. I don't. And then I'm like, I have to make cappuccinos, espressos. I was watching YouTube videos on how to do it, and I'm going to open my business that morning. But the grace of God, it worked. And I messed up. Sometimes. Sometimes I'll make coffee and then the filter will fall in and the coffee because they'll be in your coffee. But I'll catch myself afterwards and I'm like, okay, I learned from that mistake. Let me try it over again.
Right.
And I found like it's okay to make mistakes. Rectify it. Not when you make a mistake.
I really appreciate you mentioning that, because a lot of people, they just see the glamour. Lydia is doing good. Lydia's coffee house.
Lydia's coffee house.
She's
making
it.
Yeah, having all these like articles. I have a lot of articles, in the papers. Oh yeah, so they think this is it. There was like a lot of sleepless nights.
So why I like what you said so much is that it prepares someone, who is watching and they think that I'll just be like Lydia in a minute, but they have to be prepared to go through it all.
Yeah.
The good, the bad,
Yeah.
and the success itself comes.
Oh, there's good and bad, and eventually the good even outweighs the bad. The bad actually is mostly at the beginning of it.
Right?
Yeah.
Once you get into it, it's like you never even struggled at all.
You don't feel it.
Sometimes I look at it like having a baby, for mothers. When you're expecting, when it's time to have that baby, how painful it is. Once you have the baby, it's like, oh yeah. It's like you never even
never happened. Not even feel a thing.
So what is your favorite food to make?
Samosa has become one of the things, and it's crazy because a lot of people but pretty much like a higher percentage don't like to make samosas because it's so time consuming. But I have perfected it so well that I'll do it like within seconds.
Wow.
In 1 minute I can wrap maybe like about 10 samosas.
If you want some samosas, how much do you sell them for?
$2.50. A samosa. They're time consuming. People, and that's the other thing I want to emphasize. Put your own price.
Yeah.
I can go to Macy's and buy some heels. Somebody is selling it for $500. Another person is selling it for $50.
Right.
It's still a shoe, But put your own price and don't tell some. People should not come and tell you like, oh yeah, your price is too high. They will not go and complain about another restaurant how their prices are, but they, especially your friends, are the ones who are gonna come and tell you. Try to negotiate.
Right.
Be firm with your price.